Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War, I almost said Guild Wars, it will be though later this week. The Gems of War Campaign 26, Week 9, second to last week. Next week of course we'll be able to go over the Mythic and everything, because yeah, it's right around the corner. The new Lifesteal Mythic, very similar to that of Draculus, except with a lot of bleed mechanic. But you'll be able to go get her to Shiny level 2 and mess around with her next week. But of course, this week, today, we're mostly just going to be messing with the World event. Because later this week, we got Guild Wars. We'll be streaming Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for it. Gonna hopefully aim for Paragon, since we were one battle short last time around. Actually, a lot of times around. But this is basically going to come down to perfect win rate and just scoring higher. So, yeah, we'll see exactly how it ends up going. We already got our keep ready to go. Already chose green. Obviously, we'll set the defend teams with the guild to tomorrow and on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, yeah, start the battles up and see how it goes. Divine Restriction should be pretty easy. Mostly because we have access to, of course, Takshaka, which is one of the strongest things we've had any Guild Wars. It is basically a solo team in itself, and you can put up to 4 of them on your team. Of course, we're probably going to put 2 of them on our team and offset it with other stuff. But, yeah, very strong. A lot of damage, true damage as well. A lot of mana accumulation, pretty good extra turn rate. Free mana every turn, pretty tanky even. But yeah, very solid option. And there are other divines, but obviously, like, every team's going to be double Takshaka. If you own double or triple Takshaka, at least double, you're running it for every team this Guild War. The other 2 are in question, though, depending on what you want to run for points or utility, but you're pretty much always running double Takshaka if you own it for the next Guild War. Just are so strong. It's one of the reasons why Divine and Naga Restriction, or even Divine Defense, like, if you ever fight Divines, you know it's always, like, some kind of weapon, double Takshaka, and, like, one other troop. And it's pretty much exactly what you're going to be using for this Guild War as well. The same teams that people use defensively there, you'll pretty much be using offensively. Not exactly the same, though, but pretty similar. But anyways, yeah, we got the World event for the current Bright Forest thing. This is also the same team that you would use for Underspire, but you don't even need to change it, which is pretty nice. And yeah, we're just using a bunch of mana accumulation, going straight into a one-shot Miss Mother is pretty much the game plan here. And oh yeah, let me go get the medals. I forgot, we have all the medals upgraded. I think we even have double upgrade. Well, I guess it brings us to the screen. I'll just do it through here. I just want to get the other thing upgraded real quick. Already got that. Don't need to buy it again. Should have enough battles. And yeah, let's go do them. The only one we don't have to do is the lowest rarity one. They've been really straightforward with these events lately. Just don't take the lowest rarity one. Obviously, in the past, they've done some really weird things with the scoring, but lately they've been very straightforward, which is nice. So, you just don't take the lowest rarity one. But anyways, hello everyone! Hope you guys have been doing well. Hello, Bill Warhammer! Hello, Tyrion! Hello, Minnie! Hello, Clipbomb! Hello, Imperial! Hello, Jets! Hello, everyone else! Welcome, 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 welcome! It has been getting so cold lately. Hope you guys have been staying warm. Still no snow here yet, though, surprisingly. Like, it's gotten a lot colder here, but apparently not enough for snow. It feels like it never snows here. It has like 3 times in the last 3 decades. This place does not want to ever get snow. Even at instances where it's sometimes below freezing, it still just never gets snow. Do we just explode this? Yeah, we do. Because we'll get all the potions exploded from that. Which is one of the main things that we actually want to use Leprechaun for here with the potion thing. That's why we're actually using the potion weapon. That and the next best bet would just be a standard exploding weapon. Oh yeah, Blood Elf, that's the one. I couldn't think of its name when I was going over it earlier. But Blood Elf is the one you don't want to do. The really low rarity Blood Elf one. So we're just going to do all of them until we get to Blood Elf and just keep spamming the same one at the lower end. And I always try to get it at the lower just because it's easier to click on PC Mobile. Definitely not required, it's just easier to, like, you don't have to move as far. But yeah, lately we've been buying tier 6 just to make sure that the guild can get it done a lot easier. We have repaired the guild enough that it seems like we technically don't need to do tier 6 anymore. But given that we're the guild leader, I figured we still go for tier 6. Set a good example for people in the guild. Because for the most part, I was kind of doing tier 2, 3, and 4 for the longest time. But the last, like, 2 months, we've been doing tier 6 only. We're going to just kind of keep doing that. We have the gems for it, might as well. If our gem stack ever really starts to suffer, maybe we'll reconsider. As long as it's over, like, 100,000, we have basically infinite gems. Is there a February schedule? Some people were asking that on the previous stream earlier, too. I forgot to mention it in the video that there wasn't one. Mostly because it will be, obviously, next month. Or, you know, next week when we go over it. But no, we got the roadmap thingy. With, like, the Astral Spire that we should get some more info on next month. But as far as the actual roadmap or, you know, the thing for February, no. We do know that there's a Lunar New Year event. We know that there's a campaign for Altar of Malice. We know that there is a Valentine's event, Advent. And we know that there's a Guild Wars Blue, which is actually kind of interesting. This is one of the old Guild War formats. But beyond that, yeah, we don't know any of the dates at the moment. We will be getting this info next week's Monday. Well, technically next Sunday. I'll be going over it next week's Monday video and Monday stream. But yeah, we don't have it until next week. Main reason for that is the previous calendar went all the way up until this weekend. So they're not posting it until this weekend. But yeah, it will be. Once they do, we'll go over it, of course. But I'll make it into next week's stuff because it's not out yet. Hello, non-sheep. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All has been well. Hello, Lester. We're still playing Gems. Hey, and Brighter Shores. We were doing Brighter Shores earlier, too. They finally did their... Well, technically the beta. But they did the beta for the biggest update they've ever had. It's not coming out till like 2 weeks from now, though, if it goes on schedule. But it's looking pretty nice. Honestly, it might even be good enough to get me back for like a month of grinding again. As there is one very specific thing I need to go grind until we get it maxed. And I think it might actually take a month of 8 hours a day. It'll actually take that long. It's a really grindy game. But, yeah, we're probably going to go for it. Oh, what do we go for here? Brown to red. Why do I keep thinking this is green to red? I always keep confusing it with another troop that's somewhat similar to it. Thought you'd be playing Heartopia with Izzy. Actually, that reminds me. Didn't the Animal Crossing update come out? I wonder if she's been doing that lately. Because I haven't actually checked the Animal Crossing update that came out recently. I haven't even heard much word on it. Honestly, it feels like it kind of went under the radar. Wonder if it was any good. Because the update didn't seem that bad. But I haven't actually tried it, so I'm not sure. I meant to, but it actually kind of slipped my mind the last few weeks. I think it came out like over a week ago. I almost forgot that Snake came out. This was during the Decay Gem era, which was like, what, last season? 2 seasons ago? Sometime pretty recently. But yeah, event keys are really good for early game players this week. Leprechaun and Queen Titania, very solid. Probably the best you could ever get early game event keys to be. I just realized, are they switching in between? I thought these were the ones that didn't reset. Because some of my other rooms just reset there, so I'll take the higher rarity ones first just in case. Shouldn't make that big of a score difference though. Hello, Ron. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Everything's been going well. We're still at the one-shot range. I was gonna say we're gonna stop one-shotting soon, but no, we're not. We have so much spell damage right now. Not only do we have 320% from the metals, but that fully amplifies with the 50% Fairy Fire as well. So we actually get the one-shot probably for all of today, even with the extra battles. The damage range is actually surprisingly high. Even though this dragon is only slightly above average for damage. But between the metals and the 50% Fairy Fire that fully stacks with the extra metal damage, should go a pretty long way for one-shotting. Only issue is this team currently is not running any stun. So if they do have immune to Fairy Fire, that thing is going to survive very healthily. You saw that we were joining a new potion? Yeah, they added 3 new ones. But they basically made it so you can AFK the game for like 24 minutes straight, which is so nice. Because before, you'd be lucky if you can get a single action that AFK'd for even like 2 minutes. So having it as like a side game, or you know, just on the side monitor or something similar, is very nice for it. It's something I wish Gems of War's autoplay would have been better for. Because there's no battle that you can use autoplay for in Gems of War that is long enough to justify using it. The only thing in the game that would be, but it doesn't work there, is Treasure Hunt. Like if you could use autoplay to complete Treasure Hunt. But nothing that has autoplay currently in Gems of War is worth using autoplay on. Because the battles just end too quickly. Because I would say the best thing is probably Explore 12. But if you're using like a Miss Mother into Flower Dragon or double cast Flower Dragon team, you win in like 20, 30 seconds. Probably like closer to 20. Counting like loading screen and everything. And by the time you even set up the autoplay, you're already like 5 seconds in. At which point you might as well just finish the battle yourself. Because the AI will generally take like over a minute to finish that like 20-second battle. So there isn't really anything particularly AFK you can do in Gems of War. Like the closest thing is like take tribute once an hour. That's the closest thing that Gems of War has to an AFK activity. Which is actually kind of surprising for a mobile game these days. Because I feel like a lot of mobile games, particularly more modern mobile games, like you could AFK it for like almost an hour, some of them. Like they have such like robust AFK systems in them. Even if they're not necessarily an idle game. What's the highest turn we ever got to in Treasure Map? Oh, it was a while ago. I want to say around 250-ish. Maybe slightly above 300? I can't remember. I know for sure we've cracked at least 250. And I believe our highest chests were 4? 4 or 5 sounds correct. I'm pretty sure it was 4. Which is actually pretty low compared to how high some people have gotten. It's still pretty solid. Like, some people have done the entire bottom row before. In those chest thingies. I'm so rusty at Treasure Hunt if I tried doing it today, though. But we were pretty good at it for the first, like, year that it came out. Because back then, it was pretty much the meta for getting gems. As well as quite a few other resources. Like, the other resources in it used to be good enough to actually go for, other than just the gems. Relative to the rest of the balance of the game. At the time. Like, there was a point where it was actually not bad for trait stones as well. Just because the time to win on some battles during a couple updates was actually a bit slower. To the point that Treasure Hunt was more worthwhile. Both for its other loot, but also just for the trait stones. Obviously, you would do it for the gems and everything else as well. Yeah, back when people needed trait stones. Like 10 years ago. Actually, over 10 years ago. Like 10 and a half years ago. Wow, no Fairy Fire and we still one-shot that? I'm definitely underestimating how much 320% extra damage is. Because, wow, that's a big damage range. Honestly, we can go even higher, too. We don't really need 20% mana start with this team. We have double in power. 20% is doing very little to help this team. You cracked up when you said I was going to AFK and Predators like crazy now. I don't know. I really like games that have multiple ways to play like that. Where you have more active methods, super active methods, more AFK methods, stuff like that. Like, I like a nice mix of everything. Like, Gems of War mostly just has active and, like, super active. Doesn't really have too much in between. With one of the super active things definitely being Guild Wars. Guild Wars is honestly probably the most intense thing in the entire game currently. Like, I don't even think it's close. Though Divine should be pretty chill though compared to normal. Not that we won't have a few sketchy moments, but Divine is pretty free. Like, I'd be very surprised if we have more than one loss this week. And hopefully not even a single one. But an Essence of Evil might sneak up on us and get us like 4 times or something somehow. Alright, now they're all purple. As the Vinicium comes out, should we switch to purple or yellow color to keep for the Guild War defend? I'm not sure if it's worth switching to purple and yellow just to run that for the final battle. It is very strong, but you are giving up other stuff, like not be able to run Maelstrom Dagannoth, as he's not purple or yellow. I still feel like green is the overall best option. But yes, purple and yellow will start popping up in Guild Wars. So you will need to have an answer offensively for whenever the Silence Dragon comes out. Laughing sped up at 2 times. That must sound really quick. I don't watch anything ever at quicker speed. I feel like it would drive me crazy. Almost sound like a chipmunk. Hello, Mulu! Welcome, welcome, my Bozeman Wall. Purple better than yellow. Yeah, there was one... I forget what restriction it was. There was one very specific Mash Drain Infinite Loop team on purple that really got us one day, and I was actually kind of surprised by it. Because in premise, it's a really weak team if you can get momentum on it. But if it gets momentum on you, it just like full disables like crazy into Infinite Loop. And I can't remember what team it was. It was like 2 Guild Wars ago, I believe. But that one specific location is actually rather interesting defend location. I feel like that's the only thing in the entirety of purple other than Final Battle that's strong, though. Your very other room was pretty underwhelming. I think this might be the first time you buy campaign ×2, but decide to buy the purple campaign pass on alt. Nice. Yeah, honestly, the Quillen upgrade's pretty nice. Oh, you mean the PvP thing or the other thing? There's too many passes, I'm losing track. But the campaign one's not bad. Isn't it purple D-book this time around? So it's pretty enticing. And the mythic that you get at the end's not that bad. It's basically alternative Draculus or alternative Crimson Bat. It's like an in-between of the two. And we'll be messing with it next week at this time. This time next week we should have the mythic. Okay, campaign 1. Okay, yeah, the other one. Oh no, there's a billion passes. I never know sometimes. This is like people mix up Underspire and Underworld so much. Well, it's kind of on them for making them both so similar. Also, when this game first came out, I really always mixed up the 3K Kingdoms as well. It took me like a good 2 years into the game for me to fully understand the difference between the 3K Kingdoms. Because you don't really see that many keywords, so all of them just seemed like the same word to me. Kakarot, Kizil, and I can't even remember the other one off my Kedar off the top of my head. It also doesn't help that in modern day, but all 3 of them are kind of pretty dead content areas. They're all pretty weak kingdoms. Yeah, I still feel like as far as defending for this guild war, green still seems to be the way to go. Because it has automatic entangle in case they do skull spam related things. But it also has access to a few things that kind of hard counter some of the divines. Like an elemental team. And I feel like Maelstrom Dagannoth kind of forces them to have to go the immune insta-kill option. As well as potentially having to go for the raid troop killer guy. Because that's probably my plan. If I do defend to keep, I'm going to go for double insta-kill. One for front line and one for target. Like, you know, have like Herowood Archer or Herowood Assassin. While having, what's it called? Maelstrom Dagannoth. And then probably just offset with like Flower Dragon, one other thing. And weapon would probably just be Essence of Evil. I don't know, Essence of Evil just seems like such a solid thing to set for defend almost always. He just needs to get lucky twice to like auto-win almost any battle ever. Even against divines that have so much cleanse, it's one of those things that's just really hard to cleanse off if it starts going crazy. Like, if you get an Essence of Evil that also lands a 10% transform, and then land another Essence of Evil, you just disabled 3 troops in 1 turn. If you get lucky enough with it. Like, that is so potent. Of course, Divine can catch up from that. You only need 1 Takshaka to live. But it's really hard to come back from 3 troops just instantly dying in, like, 1 turn, basically. Effectively. Because anything hit by Essence of Evil is pretty much dead. Not always, but they're pretty much not there for at least 5 turns. If they even survive after those 5 turns. I don't feel like Trick and Treat is ever as intimidating, but I've definitely lost to it before. The biggest issue with Trick and Treat is it gets a lot of value, but it does ultimately lose its turn. So if it hits the wrong target, it's normally not as big a deal. Whereas Essence of Evil misses the wrong target, it still gets potentially extra turn and a bunch of mana accumulation. Whereas Trick and Treat missing the wrong target or, you know, hitting the wrong thing, you kind of just auto-win against it. Because it's very unlikely that the enemy will get 2 Trick and Treats before you kill their Trick and Treat. So the first one has to be really well targeted for it to actually do anything. Yeah, Elemental I'm actually really surprised. With all the things that have like a % chance to do something, I am really surprised they gave Elementals a 100% chance to do 4 different effects every turn, or every extra turn. Because they play so many troops so safe and weak, giving them like a small % chance to do something per extra turn, or a small % chance to start a battle. Like the troop we got today having a 35% chance to do the 3 Fairy Fire Gem. Then they give Elementals just 4 extra turn value. It just makes no sense from a balancing perspective. Where they play some like so ridiculously safe, but then others like, oh, let's just make it as broken as possible. Because if Elementalist was balanced like almost everything else in the game, it would have been a 25% chance that it would have done its ability per extra turn. Instead of 100%. Because it's doing 4 different effects, so it's like, okay, we'll just make it 25% then. But the fact they made it 100% is still kind of crazy. It's one of the few hero class related things I still feel like kind of needs to be toned down a little. But they kind of just ran with it. The sad part is, despite how strong that is, it's not always viable to run Elementalist. Biggest downside Elementalist has is no 50% mana start. Well, obviously unless you use Mirage Queen. But on its own, it has no 50% mana start. Which is about the only thing keeping it in line. If it also had the Arcane Tree for 50% mana start, then they would have toned it down like years ago. That's the only thing keeping it balanced, is not having a natural 50% mana start. Then, honestly, they haven't really been adding that many more new good elementals. Flower Dragons were probably the last most recent good elementals added to the game. But a lot of the more recent mythics and everything haven't really been elemental related like they were doing a lot in the past. Well, we do technically have a holy class, it's just priest is really underwhelming. Priest class is very, very little. I'll probably be using it occasionally in an upcoming Guild War, as there are some instances where it being divine is actually pretty beneficial. But it is a really weak divine hero class. Like, it has no barrier mechanic. It has only +1 yellow compared to other things that have like +2 or +3. It has no bless mechanic. It has cleanse for self, but even that barely does anything. It doesn't have any cleanse for allies. It's pretty weak in that regard. All they gave it was like a little bit of heal and some other stuff like that. Oh yeah, also, I'm not sure if I mentioned it yet, but I believe I know the approximate dates for the trip, by the way. It's likely going to be from June to August. So from like early-ish June to sometime in August, I will not be around. It's still not 100% set in stone, but within the next few weeks, it's probably going to be 100% set in stone. So, yeah, about pretty much most of the summer, I will not be around. Which will be the longest time ever that we would have gone without covering Gems of War or anything for that matter. At least since we've been doing it on a regular basis. Like, since we've been doing it weekly, it'll be the longest time we ever haven't. The current longest is when I got snowed in, like 6 or 7 years ago. I got snowed into New Jersey for an extra, like, week and a half or whatever it was. So there was, like, 3 weekly videos I didn't get out. But this will be the longest duration, potentially being up to 10 weekly videos that wouldn't get done. Like almost a full 3 months. But we'll be back afterwards, of course. By spring. Yes, hello, Jason! Welcome, welcome. Oh, don't you run away. Out of all the colors it could have done, it did yellow when it's in first slot. That is so unfortunate. That's like worst possible key scenario. Luckily still died in one shot. But yeah, it's basically gonna be my first time like out of the country. I've been to Canada a couple times, but that doesn't really count. That's just North United States, kind of. Not literally, of course. But, you know, you can, like, literally drive into it. This will be the first time I'm, like, actually flying out of the United States. I miss Cookie. Hello, Cookie! Welcome, welcome. Hope all's been well. Hello, Idam. Welcome, welcome. Alright, do we have alignment here? No. I think it's still so much mana we still go for. Oh no, we'll take the blue. Oh, I meant to take the yellow thing so we could actually gone up. Never mind. You know what? I'm going for the convert still. It's too much mana not to go for. Oh, but now I have no way to pop it though. I keep blocking our mana. There we go. Where are we flying to? Greece. It's gonna be about a 2-month-long Greece trip or so. Assuming the United States hasn't declared war on Europe yet. But assuming we're in good enough standings that I can fly there safely. No, I shouldn't start anything like that, hopefully. Hopefully. You're new to the game? How do weapons work? You can set 1 weapon per team, and basically, is your hero that gets associated to it. Your hero generally has the most stats of any troop in the game, and it has 2 different components to it. The weapon component, which determines what your ability is, and then the class component, which determines the 3 standard traits that you normally have, as well as a bunch of things that you can level up to get up to 7 additional traits per class, which are all these things over to the side over here, which goes up to level 100. But it's basically a 10 trait troop, in a sense. The 3 standard ones and the extra 7 that hero comes with. And there's a bunch of different hero classes that you can set to it and a bunch of different weapons. And those just make up to 2 different components that you have. Technically 3. The stats are based on how leveled your hero is. The weapon is based on, of course, whatever weapon you choose. And then the traits and additional traits that you have are based on what hero class you choose. So it has a lot of flexibility compared to any other troop, as far as customizing it and everything. Also, thank you so much, Mulu, for the $10 tip. Greatly, greatly appreciated. When I finally get the yellow dragon, make sure you do a video with some. Oh yeah, I definitely plan to still cover them. I just can't at the moment until we get it. This week we'll probably be covering the video on the Immortal for the current season, the Goblin one. I've been meaning to for a while. I just keep having other things I need to do. But I'll be covering that this week. And then next week we'll be covering it for the new Mythic coming out through the campaign. And then hopefully by then we can have the dragon. I've been buying the Dragonite every day. I even got Perfect Dungeon last night. Which does remind me, I don't think I bought the Dragonite yet today. Mostly because I haven't done Dungeon yet. But yeah, I've been keeping up with it every day. How much are we up to now? Probably none because I just spent some this morning. Where's my Dragonite stack? I don't even remember where it's kept. Yeah, we're at 211 right now. So we'll get another one by, what, Saturday? So during the Guild War day, we'll go open another one and see if we can get it. We'll do that one on stream then, instead of the Monday video. But yeah, hopefully we get them soon. But we're 20 dragons in and we're still missing the yellow dragon. And then even once we get yellow dragon, we still gotta wait another month to get enough Dragonite to get the other components. Because even after yellow dragon, we're not done yet. It just makes it so we're done with the RNG grind. But then we still need to go get the 2 weapons, or sorry, 3 weapons. And then the actual final dragon. The final dragon's pretty underwhelming though. This is one of the first and only time where honestly, I think the weapon is better than the dragon that you get at the end of the Dragonite dragons. Yep, no problem, Edom. Hopefully before the trip. I sure hope so. It better not take us 4 months. I sure hope it doesn't take more than 4 months to get all the dragons. That'd be absurdly dry. We're getting about a dragon a week, roughly. So if we somehow go 4 more months without getting it, would be insane. You never know. We could get that unlucky. That might be the record for how unlucky you can get on that, though. I already thought 27 was pushing it on the other one. We're currently at 20 without it, so... It's technically not the most unlucky we've ever gotten on one. We have actually already gotten unluckier before. Though I can't complain too much about the second set of dragons, though. Cosmic Dragons we completed within exactly 6. Actually, what were the numbers? It was 27, then 6. Then I think it was around 13-ish, like we went perfectly on average. And this one now, the 4th set, is on 20 without having it. So it's not as bad as 27, but it's getting there slowly. Week by week. Did I get the evil dragon yet? No, I'm still missing yellow. I'm missing the only one that's relevant. I still find that crazy, though. The first set of dragons where you don't even necessarily need to get all of them, but the only one that's actually viable is the one I don't have, which is just crazy. Because one of the metas you could do for that is literally just go for yellow dragon and stop. The problem with that strategy, if you somehow go all the dragons, or, you know, if you get 5 of them and still don't have yellow, because then you have to get them all. And at which point you might as well just complete them. I was going to do it regardless, but still kind of crazy. That's the one that we didn't get. The only one that matters. How many have we gotten so far? 20 of them. As of this morning. Because we opened another one during the video today. But yeah, the next one we open will be on stream. So far I've only opened them ever on the Monday videos. But the next Dragonite Dragon we open should be the Saturday. Which should also be the day that we're probably going to be messing with the shiny new troop. Because we'll have the shiny legendary by that day. So I'm probably going to run some kind of Quillin Divine team for Saturday as well. And after that Guild War, we'll probably open the Flower Dragon Egg and see if we get it. Have you got any tips for guide videos on your channel for this game? Honestly, I need to make some updated ones. I do have a lot of early game guides, but a lot of them are set back like so far back. Keeping up with the Monday videos do generally have a lot of information though, as I try to cover them for early game as well. Both teams and just kind of explaining everything. Like for example, the best thing you could be doing this week as a newer player is open event keys. This week in particular, because you get Leprechaun and Queen Titania from it. Leprechaun in particular is extremely important to get this week if you don't already have it. Or if you do have it, maybe to get it more upgraded. As you use it a lot. It's a really good mana accumulator even in the end game. Gives you free gold, immediately gives you a ton of mana, and gives you even more green mana and gold. Which is a really solid trip all around. And you pretty much never stop using it, even once you have everything in the game. Even though it's a relatively low rarity option. But in event keys this week, it's really free to get. Like 20 event keys and you pretty much get it. It's really accessible this week. Because every single week there's different stuff in the event drop table. And this week has some really good stuff like Leprechaun and Queen Titania. Queen Titania being basically the lower rarity version of Mist Mother. Like the far more accessible one. It gets the Fairy Fire, which is 50% extra spell damage. To a single troop instead of all of them. But it also has a really solid ability that's actually pretty comparable to most other damage sources in the game. Like of the higher end. But be able to get both of those from event key drop table this week is really solid. So thank you Tyrion for the $5 as well. Which reminds me, I need to go do taxes soon. I think I'm still missing one bank statement for my thing. And then we're good to go. That is one nice thing about YouTube. They give a nice form that already has all the info on it. I don't even need to fill anything out. It's so nice. Oh, nice. Speaking of nice, we're actually second place with that. How many packs did Jen buy? Also, interesting that I scored quite a bit higher here. Because assumably all 3 of us did the exact same amount of battles here. But I somehow scored as high as like 40 points higher than both of them. Interesting. Well, I guess we either got luckier or we just took more correct rooms. I'm pretty sure just slightly luckier. But yeah, we scored like 40 points higher. Despite all 3 of us doing the same amount of battles. Alright, well that's out of the way. Let's go clear out everything else. What do we still have for dailies? Technically this is to complete all 3, but honestly I don't care about the XP booster now that we hit 2,000, so I'm going to ignore that. These stars will get automatically, so we can kind of ignore that as well. Wait, do we get magic this week or next week, though? This is important to get before Guild War if it is magic. Well, I guess you'd kind of want to get it regardless before Guild War. It's only HP. Next week is magic. But I don't know, 5 HP is still nice. Alright, let me go clear our dungeon. I already bought the Dragonite earlier. So let me just go grab dungeon here. Oh, do we get to play Guess the Door? No, boo. Freeze and Deathmark Trap, sad. Yeah, it's the RNG multiplier that's in it. Like, there's RNG on what rooms you get, plus there's like an extra variable number or something. Just so that there's not like multi-way tiles on the leaderboard. Where do you find event keys? There's a couple different ways to get event keys. One of the more accessible ones, if you haven't already claimed it this week, is if you do anything that gives you glory, like PvP or just opening some gold and glory keys, you would end up getting this shop over here. It's not going to show because I already bought it for the week. But if you go over to shop and go over to resources, all the way to the left here, not this gym one, but there'll be an offer for 180 glory that gives you an event key and some other loot. It's really good to buy 10 of them per week. It would be 1,800 total glory at 180 a piece, but you would get 10 event keys from it. I showed it in the video that we covered earlier today too. I normally try to mention it whenever there's a good event key thing. It's not showing up right now because I already got it. But all the way to the left of this screen in that empty space is where it normally is. And you can get 10 event keys per week that way. Beyond that, throwing 15 gems each for them or buying them in bulk is also the other way to get them. Then you just kind of get some naturally for guilds and other events. Like the current world event that we were literally just doing now. Like we got some event keys there and there. Actually, if I clicked, how many did we get here? We got, oh, I already claimed them. But we already got like 20 event keys from this? I'm not sure. However many all these numbers are added up. Let's see, 3. It's not a huge amount, but it adds up. 6, 10, 10. We got 10 so far. I forgot this thing even gives event keys. I guess it makes sense. It's called a world event. I sure hope you would get some amount of event keys from it. But you can just get them passively through stuff throughout the game. Especially Vault event weekends. Which is like one mega boosted weekend that they do every month for a few days. We don't currently know when the next one is. We'll know by next week when it is. But those events, whenever they rotate around, are really solid. You get a bunch of vault keys, and those vault keys have some pretty good loot. And you might as well open the 5 we have right now. But these things can drop quite a bit of event keys. I think you can drop up to 18 at a time for one single key. Plus the other gnomes occasionally drop them. Oh, we got a gem key. Wrong key, though. Evil dragons for Tacit soon, TM. I sure hope so. Is this just as bad as the gem dragons back when, like, 3 years ago? Actually, has it already been that long? Gosh, it's been a while. There it is, 4 event keys. That's not the big drop, though. Let's see if we can get the 18 drop from him right now. Nope, another gem key. We're getting for the next Dragonite dragons? Honestly, I feel like I need to too, after how short we were this time around. In theory, I should have gotten it though. We're at least like 70% over drop rate, if not more, depending on how you look at it or do the math. But yeah, honestly, as soon as I finish this current set of Dragonite dragons, I might already be starting to work on the next one. Just because we depleted all of the Dragonite we have for the current set. Like, I need to start buying daily Dragonite for the rest of the year, probably. Just to make sure we can recover. Another event key. And that was all we have there. Alright, speaking of event keys. Get a couple from these legendary tasks here. We got 17 there. This is an early game you generally wouldn't be getting, though. This is mostly from really active guilds. Which you can eventually get into, though. Which at this point, I think all of our tasks are done, right? Guild. Yep, we're good to go. We're at the final stage. Still a couple people that haven't done their gold yet for the week, though. Alright, so what are we doing now? What are we doing? Finishing dungeon. Yep, no problem. If you have any other questions, let me know. As we'll be around this time this week almost every single day. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be the only two we're not. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I do have a dentist appointment this Thursday. I don't think that will conflict with the stream time. The only reason I'm saying it might is the dentist appointment's actually really late in the day. Because I think the appointment's at like 3 or 4 p.m. or something. Like, obviously, time-wise, it doesn't conflict. I'm not sure if my mouth is still going to be weird from it or anything, though. But no, we should still be around on Thursday. I almost forgot about that. Bring a laptop. Well, I'm not going to be stuck there. I mean that in the sense I might not be able to talk normally Thursday night. If my mouth is still weird from anything. I believe I should check up an x-rays though. But I know for sure I have at least one tooth that's going to need some work. Or if not, you just pull it out. because it got like mega chipped the other week. Catch you later, Idiom. Thanks for stopping by. Hello, Imperial. Welcome, welcome. Alright, we're good to go. Anything else we need here? All that's checked off. We're still missing some for these, but we'll grab all that. What else do we still need? Games are done? Is there anything else? Underspire, Vault Keys, Plunder. Yeah, it should be everything. Alright, so only thing left then is good old Underspire, which is the exact same team, oddly enough. Do I have a copy pasted already? I don't think I do, no. Let me go grab it real quick. Collection. World event / Underspire. And we should be good to go. Nothing we need there. Oh, where am I putting this? Underspire. Once again, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to do bare minimum for Underspire this week again. Not that this restriction is bad, but we're already going to have to use this team like crazy for a world event. So I kind of don't want to have to double dip it. Unless the team is just like mega deluxe free. Which this one almost is, honestly. But I think we are skipping it, just doing bare minimum again this week. Which means every single time since we finished the quest, or since we finished the achievement, we would have done bare minimum. But no, I will be doing full completions again whenever better weeks rotate around. It's just last week I didn't bother because we just did it like a billion weeks in a row. And this week I'm not going to bother just because the world event is already the same team, so I don't want to spam the same team so much. Especially since we're already... Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say, especially since we're running the same thing for Guild War, but honestly, our Guild War team should be changing quite a lot this week. Like, yes, most of what we're going to be running is Double Talk Shaka. But there's a lot of other viable options for Divine. Oh, wow, they're both the same level. That's unfortunate. We'll just go this way then. Good old treasure chest. But yeah, it's actually amazing how much these chests have actually increased the loot of Underspire. If these 20 chests, or up to 20 chests, were the only things that spawned in Underspire, it might honestly actually still be worth it. If they were the only things that spawned. And they're just the extra loot, or some of the extra loot that the most recent update to Underspire and the batting. Yet them alone is already pretty much enough to justify the cost of going through. So welcome back, Chad. Welcome, welcome. Old school Divine Skull team. Yeah, I showed that for the video. I couldn't not show the really old school Divine Ishbal Aquilin team. We're definitely going to be using it probably this Saturday. Oh wow, we already found one of the keg things. And we got a lantern! Nice! That's the best drop you can get from that. Huge. That's the second time we've gotten that so far. You can drop 2 to 4 torches or a lantern. That's the second time we've seen lantern. Which is way better than a torch. Not only in how much loot it gives, but lanterns can carry over from week to week. Torches do not. So even just that aspect alone is already pretty good. And of course, obviously, they double the loot of whatever you use them on, which is also absurdly good. But the other thing that's good about them is you get to keep them forever from week to week. Torches always expire, but lanterns last forever. Yeah, 4 times bless is for the other thing. I checked it on the spoiler thingy. The thing that, like, data mines the thing. This one. I'm not sure if it's still on the right page. But, yeah, it is. If we type in Quillen here, and go down to Quillen, right here. Its normal ability is convert blah 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 and then bless 2 allies. And its shiny ability is bless all allies instead of 2. But yeah, it gets bless all allies, so it gets 2 more bless. But those 2 bless are really good because it's 4 times bless now. Which actually makes it among one of the better skull spammers in the game, just all of a sudden. Because 2 bless is too inconsistent to depend on. But 4 bless means not only is your whole team being blessed, but your first slot is guaranteed being blessed. Which is the biggest issue with double bless. Is your first slot was never guaranteed to get blessed. But now it is, as well as the whole team. So it's actually a solid blesser now. While also being a solid skull spammer. While having mana accumulation. It's actually a really big buff for it overall. And all that with a 16 mana cost since it's going down by 2. Which also just makes him a better skull spammer because he's scaled like an 18 mana cost troop at only 16 mana cost. Which is really solid as well. Alright, I think the only thing left is PvP now. Let's go head over there. Alright, anything we need here? I think we just need spell... Actually, I'll just go for magic. I think we need spell reduction today. Well, let's grab our quick magic, then go grab the one giant battle, whatever that was up there. And that should be everything we need to get around to. Because, of course, the biggest thing happening this week is Guild War. And we'll be streaming it every day once it comes around this week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Alright, final battle we need here, and then we should just need the 3 quick ones on middle, and then the 5 in the other area. Which, if that was Giant when I was glancing on it, that's actually kind of unfortunate. Giant is not that good of a restriction there. Might even go check the other one just to see if it's something slightly better. Because even if we can't use Glacia, if it's a good enough restriction, it might be worth running if it's like Dragon or something. It's Divine. I don't want to run Divine again. Okay, I'll run Giant. I'll run Giant with Queen Titania. I mean, not Queen Titania, whatever you call her. Immortal Glacia, I mean. Immortal Glacia. I don't know, what else do we need for this team? What's for Empower? Wonderful. What do we have for Link? Yellow, good enough. Now let's run, I guess, Wand. And that should be everything we need. I said it was Archmages. I only care about speed here. And you know what? We're actually going to fully commit to the other color. Not a color you would normally run with this, with Wand of Stars. Because normally you're covering the other color. I'm actually going to go yellow-purple here. That way we have +4 purple, +4 yellow. And now we can actually run the Arcane Star. Something that's not ran that often on this weapon just because its extra turn rate is really low. It also doesn't mana accumulate as much. But it also doesn't cover enough. You know what? I have to go for the other one. I'm looking at the board state and it does not say to hit it. Obviously, the other problem is since it only covers 2 colors, you need a lot of yellow and purple on the board for it to work as well. Oh, we got him! Alright, don't miss, don't miss. Don't miss. Yeah, we got it. Okay, we're fine. Wait, that still missed? Alright, fine. I'm doing normal star. But yeah, that's the verse 3 we need. Out of all the verses, that's the one we have the least of. Yeah, it's not even a Vault Event weekend. Well, so why are all of our enemies so weak today? We're getting really lucky on the week cycle here. I'm going for it. Umbral Star, go. No! Full miss! Can never trust the Umbral Star. Honestly, even when your banner is not the correct one, it still seems worth running the normal one. This extra turn rate is just so much better. You need so much yellow and purple on the board to make the other one work. It's one of the reasons why we're normally not using it to curse unless we absolutely have to. Because unless you have a perfect yellow-purple setup, it just does not want an extra turn for you. It's already bad enough, the normal one, and it's even worse chance than that. Yeah, final 2 fights we need here, then we just need to get 3 off of Central, and I think that's it. If anyone still has any other questions or anything you want me to go over to, let me know. And of course, later this week we'll do all of Guild War then. With Thursday being the first day, and Saturday probably being the day we'll be able to go for the Dragonite Dragon, as well as mess with the shiny level 2 Quillen. That has 4 times Bless and Skull Spam. But he's actually a pretty viable troop with all those buffs that he got as of this week. Not as good as some Mythics, obviously, but when it comes to Blessing, he's among one of the top 5 Blessers now. Like, he's not quite as strong as Wand of Stars for Blessing, but, you know, he's not bad. And, of course, that frees up you not needing to run Wand of Stars on a given team as well. If Umbral Stars doesn't work here, we got a problem. I was going to say. It's such a perfect board setup for it. How do you possibly miss that? Alright, there we go. And now it's got to do 3 quick battles in Central just to get our Valhawks going. So we can double buff tomorrow. Oh, someone running the new Goblin. You know what? We'll go fight the new Goblin team just for fun. Maybe he'll create a Wish Gem for us and give us free mana. He did. Don't. Okay, good. Free mana! Oh, we already won. Never mind. Didn't matter. But if we didn't, he gave us free mana! Yeah, so far we haven't gotten hit too bad by the weather. Yeah, well, everyone's been staying warm and everything from it. Oh no, this area tends to only get really bad during hurricane season. Winter season doesn't really ever affect this area too much, luckily. Oh, was that our second? I believe it was. It should be our third. Oh, so many people running goblins all of a sudden. Why is there so many goblin teams in Central? Like, it would make sense if it was using a new one. Because it'd be like, oh yeah, he's just testing out the new dragon. I mean, the new goblin. But, yeah, they're even using non-new guy teams. Like, almost all those teams, 2 out of 3 were goblin. And now a third one is goblin. Where all that goblin teams coming from? I know it's still pretty meta and always has been. And even more so with the Immortal this season. I've really been seeing an uptick in those goblin teams lately. Like, it's not goblin restriction, it's anything. I don't even think we have a goblin restriction here, do we? No. But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Stay warm out there, stay safe out there. And we will be back on Thursday for the start of Divine Guild War. And of course, we'll be doing that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday night, we should be able to go over the calendar for the month as well. And then on Monday video, we'll also have it. And maybe even Monday stream, we'll mention it slightly as well. But Sunday night and Monday video next week, we should have the calendar for the month. So we'll know when everything is. And we'll go from there. Anyways, guys, hope you all have a wonderful week. And I will see you guys for Guild War. Goodbye, everyone. And thanks for watching. Oh, yeah, and don't forget to set your teams for the next 2 days. Because you'll be able to do that in about 4 hours, and then the next 2 days before that timer goes down, you'll be able to go set your defend teams. And if you're a guild leader, you can also choose what keep you want to go do. Which I could actually change right now if I really want to. I changed it to green earlier, though. But you could change it to whatever you want. But we're going with green. I think only guild leader and the second in command can change it. But there we go. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.